Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here on October 16th. Let's jump right into our charts and see what happened in the markets today. First up, we got our December live cattle on the board. Bulls had another nice day here, pushing into new all-time highs as we've now seen 10 straight green days in a row here for this live cattle market. Coming into today's session, we had a nice line being drawn there at 247, which we saw a nice early breakout of this morning, driving right up into these new all-time highs there at 248.30. We did see this market retest that breakout line a couple times here midday, but the bulls stepping in and showing good support, pushing this thing back up off of that 247 level and finishing the day up there at 247.75. Nice strong close here today. Good finish for the bulls. We should expect to see this momentum carry into tomorrow's session and see the bulls finish this week on a high note. Look for this momentum to keep carrying us up there towards the 250s. We should see more upside continue here into tomorrow's session, and the bulls should try and take some of that momentum into next week. This big picture uptrend still remains intact. Bulls are rolling. Don't really expect to see much resistance here at the moment. Look for this live cattle market to keep on grinding into new all-time highs. Next up, November feeders. This market continuing to consolidate over the last couple days as we've had two back-to-back inside days trading inside Tuesday's range. But the bulls showing good accumulation here between this 380 and 382 mark. Lots of buying activity down here near these lows from yesterday and today. Good pushback by the bulls driving up here towards this 382 mark. Like I said, heavy concentration of volume coming in here in about a $2 range here between 380 and 382. Looking like the bulls are building up some pressure here on these all-time highs. We should see these nice tight inside days here expand into tomorrow's session. Try and get the bulls to finish this thing on a high note, driving up there into new all-time highs. Look for these feeders to keep on grinding, and we should see more upside here across both feeder and fat markets. Next up, December corn futures with more upside today. Pretty heavy volume, pushing above these major moving averages. At the moment, these averages aren't really meaning much to us here as we've had a pretty choppy sideways market here over the last month or two. Look for this choppy action to continue. We've driven right back up here into this 420 to 425 range. This has been a spot that's been pretty sticky over the last few weeks here, so not really expecting much momentum to carry us through here. However, if we do start to get above 425, we should see the bulls try and attack this gap here that's still left over from that 4th of July weekend. Look for the bulls to push up here towards this gap at around the 430 to 433 level if we do get continued bids above 425 tomorrow. But in the meantime, not really expecting much directional movement here for this corn market. Expect prices to stay pretty sticky down here in this 420 area. We should see some chop here to finish out the week. Unless we can get a nice breakout here above that 424.5 level, we could see the bulls try and attack that gap. But in the meantime, look for this market to just continue to be range bound and pretty sticky here in a choppy situation. Next up, crude oil markets, seeing some nice downside here today, following through below that prior day's low, getting a nice breakdown below that bear pivot, and a strong close down here for the bears at the near the market or near the day's lows. We are rolling over into that December contract here today, so that's why we got a little bit of a gap here and a little bit of a price discrepancy between that November and December contract. Look for the downside to continue here. Bears are pushing. We should see this oil market start to continue to slip down here towards this $55 mark, which were these lows we saw back in April and May. Look for the bears to just keep on bleeding this market lower. Next up, equity indexes with a little bit of downside here today. Kind of a mixed bag. The Nasdaq was the strongest of the group, while we did have a little bit of weakness in the finance sector, dragging the Dow lower. Nice close down there below that prior day's low, so these Dow stocks looking a little bit weaker. However, we just continue to trade inside this big Friday's range that we saw from last week. S&P also with a little bit more downside, undercutting prior day's low, but finishing here inside that prior day's range. Market just continues to churn around this 20-day moving average. This big breakdown day we saw here on Friday is just causing this market to have a little bit more volatility and continue to digest some of that move. Here at the moment, we aren't breaking any key levels or anything. We still have support all the way down here to 6,600 and this 50-day moving average. Look for this market to continue trading in these wide ranges while it's sorting itself out and digesting this recent volatility. We do expect to see the bulls pick this thing up and turn it back around towards these all-time highs. Just struggling to get through it at the moment. Just got to chew through some of this. If we do start to see any downside into the close tomorrow, look for a breakdown here below 6,600 to push us down towards Friday's low. below 65.40, we could see this thing start to sell off quick. So we want to make sure that we're defending the 65.40 level, which was Friday's low. If not, we should see a pretty fast slip down here towards the 61.60 mark, which were these prior all-time highs from last year and our quarter one highs. Look for support to step in down here if we do start to slip down here below that 50-day moving average. However, we are just continuing to balance out here and just digest this recent volatility. Look for the bulls to try and hold this market in this area, and the big picture uptrend still remains intact as long as we hold Friday's low. Should see this market try and continue up here towards these all-time highs. But we just want to make sure that everyone is cautious and willing to raise cash here if we start to get slip below 65.40. But that's all we got for today. Look for more upside in that cattle market to finish the week strong tomorrow. Corn prices, not really expecting a whole lot out of them. Look for more chop there in that corn market. And equity markets, we should try and see if this thing can gather some support and have a nice strong close for the week tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see how that one plays out. But that's all we got for this week. We'll catch you over the weekend for our Week 42 Market Watch. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.